The next device we'll go into is the solar. It actually gives you quite a bit more information than the DC-DC, but mostly still informational. So here it shows you maximum wattage, or the current wattage that it's putting out. This vehicle has about 600 some watts on the roof, and I would say this is pretty typical for a flat mounted solar array on a really good day. You're going to see maybe 80% or so of rated. You're almost never going to see 100, although occasionally you can see over 100, something called cloud edging. You can Google it if you'd like, or you can not. It's not important. Reasons that it will make less power here at wattage are that the charger only shows you how much power it's making, and it only makes the amount of power it needs to make. So if the batteries are full or near full, even if it's very sunny out, it will ramp the output way down to trickle charge them up to totally full, or shut it off completely to just cover a few loads in the vehicle, or nothing at all, depending on if anything's on. So it is possible, in fact it's very likely, if the system is well balanced, that sometime in the afternoon in the sun you'll see a pretty big drop off in solar output because your batteries are full. So that's just something important to remember. Generally, if it's the afternoon, it's nice and sunny, and you weren't using a lot of power, that when it goes down to a lower output than you think you should be seeing, it probably is just full. You can also see as it kind of fluctuates a bit, it's because we had a cloud pass over, and that's pretty normal too. So I generally recommend not just staring at your solar all day unless you just really think it's fun. The second line here, this is the voltage and the amperage going into the solar controller out of the panels. It's not terribly important as the end user, although it's something important to us as installers. So this is the voltage that the panels are providing, and then the current in DC amps into the MPPT solar charge controller. What the controller does, and the same thing for the DC-DC charger in fact, is it takes these numbers and it turns them into these numbers, which are what the batteries want. So the batteries definitely don't want 44 volts. So it converts the volts down and the amps up into 13.45 or 46, wherever it's at, volts currently, and 32 amps of DC current into the batteries. These numbers will fluctuate, especially as it starts getting full. You'll start seeing higher voltage and eventually lower amperage as it starts to ramp down and go into absorption and then float. Currently, it shows the state is bulk because, again, the batteries are less than full. Once they get near full, they'll go into absorption and then finally float. Down here, we have virtual load output control. You'll never have one of these on one of our installs. You'll also never have a relay controlled from a solar controller on one of our installs. So you can basically ignore those and forget them right now. It also gives you a really nice history graph. This rig has only been out for a few hours, but it gives you a nice graph of bulk and then absorption and float. There will be a blue and then a gray for absorption and float. White is bulk. So it will show you how long each day it was in each charge state. If you see just white, it means it was only in bulk, which means it never got full. That's okay, assuming you're going to drive the thing or move out of the shade or stop using your air conditioner or air frying turkeys or whatever you're doing. It will come back. It's just a nice little feature, something that you can look at over the last 30 days to see how your solar has performed. So I think that's it on solar.